All right, are you ready to stop just talking about success and actually start doing something? If you want the next couple of years of your life to be something you're genuinely proud of, then you are in the right place. Today, we're going to break down Alex Hormozi's raw, no-fluff philosophy into a roadmap you can actually use. So let's just dive right in. Okay, let's start with a choice. This one choice basically frames this entire mindset shift. You can choose to be right. You can blame the economy, your boss, your upbringing, whatever. And you'll stay exactly where you are. But hey, you'll be right. Or you can accept that maybe your old way of thinking was wrong and start getting what you actually want out of life. That decision, it's the foundation for everything that comes next. So where does this whole journey really kick off? Well, it's not with some complicated business strategy or a spreadsheet. It starts with one simple phrase, a phrase that unlocks absolutely everything. My fault. And this right here shows you exactly why that phrase is so powerful. The second you blame someone else for your problems, you've literally just handed them the remote control to your life. You're basically saying, I can't change things until you do something. You become a spectator. But the moment you say, you know what, this is my fault, bam, you just snatch that remote right back. All of a sudden, you're the one in control with the power to actually change your situation. And this is the bottom line, isn't it? The victim story might get you some sympathy, but it is never, ever going to get you success. You just can't achieve financial freedom if you're stuck in a mindset where someone else is responsible for where you are. It just doesn't work that way. So, once you've taken back control, the next phase begins. And let's be honest, it's going to be tough. Hormozi calls it eating glass. It's all about embracing the hard, painful, totally unglamorous stuff at the beginning. The phase where you have to do the jobs that nobody, and I mean nobody, else wants to do. Look, when you're starting out, you probably don't have many resources. So what's in your toolkit? It's pretty simple. You have your time, you have your energy, and you have a willingness to do absolutely anything. Hormozi himself was cleaning toilets in his own gym, making sales calls, doing whatever it took. He had to endure people looking down on him because he understood the trade-off he was making. And this is the trade-off, perfectly put. The path to real success means pulling future pain into the present. You are intentionally choosing hardship right now. The long hours, no social life, saving every penny because you're buying yourself freedom and comfort down the road. It's the complete opposite of what most people do, which is see comfort now and pay for it later. So you're working your tail off. You're eating glass. But how do you actually get any better? Well, the key here is to stop seeing time as just hours on a clock. You need to see it as a currency you can use to buy something way more valuable than money. This is where you have to completely reframe how you look at failure. Think of it like a video game. Every single failure is not a loss. It's you gaining experience points or XP. So if you make a sales call and get a hard no, you didn't lose. You just gained 1 XP in handling objections. In the beginning, your goal isn't to make a ton of money. Your goal is to collect as much XP as you can to level up your skills. So how do you get that XP as fast as possible? It's a simple but really powerful 2-step process. First, volume. You have to do an insane amount of whatever it is you're trying to learn. Then, you create a super tight feedback loop. After every single attempt, not at the end of the day, but after each one, you stop and ask, okay, how can I be just 1% better? And then you immediately apply that lesson to the very next try. Now, that whole process might sound like it takes forever, right? But what if it didn't? This brings us to the 20-hour rule. For most skills, it only takes about 20 hours of focused, deliberate practice to get surprisingly good. How is that possible? Because the steepest, most important part of any learning curve is right at the very beginning. The problem isn't that learning a new skill is that hard. It's that most people never even get through hour 1. Okay, so you're starting to build some momentum. You're getting better at stuff. And right on cue, a new enemy appears. Distraction. To fight it, you have to enter what Hormozi calls the season of no. This is a period of your life where you are ruthless, you are unapologetic, and you eliminate everything and everyone that isn't aligned with your mission. This phase requires you to ask some incredibly tough questions. And Hormozi says the most important one is about your partner. He frames it very bluntly. Are they an asset? Someone who pushes you forward and supports the mission? Or are they a liability? Someone who pulls you back with doubt or constant demands on your focus? He says this is probably the single biggest business decision you will ever make. This season of no also means you go into what you could call financial hibernation. Now, the goal here isn't to get rich by saving $5 on a latte. No, the real goal is to buy yourself the most valuable resource you have, Time. Time to learn, time to fail, time to build your skills without the constant pressure of being one missed paycheck away from ruin. It means sacrificing all those short-term comforts for a massive long-term vision. So how do you decide what to cut? Just use this one simple rule for every single opportunity that comes your way. If your gut reaction isn't an immediate, enthusiastic, hell yes, then it has to be a firm no. That's it. All of this, the total ownership, the intense sacrifice, the laser focus, it's all building toward a powerful, long-term vision. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about understanding a core equation and making a 10-year contract with yourself. And this table here just lays it all out so perfectly. The poor, they trade their time for stuff. The rich, they trade their money to buy back more time. But the most important category for anyone starting out is the ambitious. You trade your time not for stuff, but for skills. You absolutely have to start in that category if you ever want to get to the top one. And this is exactly why you need to be patient. Success is not a straight line. It follows a hockey stick curve. For the first few years, it is going to feel like you are spinning your wheels and going nowhere. That's the flat part of the curve. And that's the part where almost everyone quits. But if you can just stick with it, all that effort starts to compound, and you finally hit that inflection point where your growth just goes exponential. So if you boil this entire intense philosophy down, what do you get? You get what Hormozi calls the holy trinity of success. Number 1, figure out what you truly want. Number 2, do so much work that it would seem unreasonable for you not to get it. And number 3, master the skill of ignoring the opinions of anyone whose life you don't actually want to have. And that leaves us with one final, powerful question that kind of reframes this whole journey. Don't think of the struggle, the sacrifice, and all that eating glass as a punishment. Instead, think of it as collecting material, because all of that hardship, that's just the raw ingredient that's going to make for one hell of a story to tell when you're 85.